Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for West Are.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Minister of Finance, for explanation. Lo 56(1)A, Miritim Cohen say that this part applies to zone business A that are or will involve business activities that are not carried out anywhere else in Solomon Islands. That was now also me expressing sorry lo minuma because me hola lo Bina me hola like similar operations or even winning more lo Noro ya, but the buy no more now because Noro lo they finished. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, MP for Mr. Arare. Yes, me fella acknowledge him sentiment you raise him and Bina him new ya. Me fella acknowledge him recommendation and me fella maintain that clause 56(1)A, 56(2) will remain as it is because we cannot have two SEZs that operate underneath the same sector no more. Thank you.
Honourable Leader of Opposition.
What's the policy benefit of that position? I mean, surely we can have a number of canneries or fish processing plants. So question of supply no more might constrain him, but this would seem to me an unnecessary constraint placed on the policy. As long as it's produced for export, it doesn't really matter whether you got 2 or 3 or different locations under different SEZs, and it should not be constrained by the fact that one will operate on Noro finish. If we could operate for complete domestic market, yeah, we can understand the policy rationale, but if any for export, it would seem 56(1)A is an unnecessary limitation that is probably better removed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Leader. In the Bills and Legislation Committee report, if you refer to page 54 of that report, you will see one of the recommendations there, particularly in reference to this particular clause in the bill. Of course, that the committee can look into that and see whether that recommendation is of any guidance to the issue that has been raised in relation to this particular clause. I'm just putting it on the floor for your consideration and observation. Thank you. Page 54 of the committee report. Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Sir, I would strongly urge the government, I would urge the Prime Minister to consider this one. I think it's a limitation that should be removed. Mekanumino constraining the implementation of him. And since there may be 1 or 2 other amendments, we could maybe take that on board. Also, the matter of second-hand equipment here. US $5, I know Finance Minister say, like a Maravrave investor more, but $5 million US, actually, Maravrave amount no, and small amount no, it's only 40 million Solomon dollars. And, a week and a half ago, or whenever Trump announced his Liberation Day activities here, US dollar had me tanked 2 years, so US 5 million at that time was way less than 40 million Solomon dollars. So amount here by me up and down no more. By putting it in the law here, we subject the law to the vagaries of the international currency markets. It's probably this amount of USD 5 million, probably something better in the regulations, maybe. Minister Nomo sabe from time to time, him sabe apum to a reasonable, realistic, adequate level. But the matter of second-hand equipment, you should make them clear no second-hand equipment. Them come new equipment now. All same normal. Thank you, sir. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Leader. Full Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me thank the Leader of Opposition for the points he has raised, especially as far as 56(1)A is concerned in terms of the policy rationale. We'll get back to you. I think this is an important point. So we'll liaise with the Ministry in terms of the policy rationale as well as the Attorney General. Then we'll revert to you. But on the same note, let me, since this is the first time I took the floor, let me thank the Chairman of the Parliamentary House Committee and his committee for allowing us today to continue with the consideration of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. So on that note, would it be that the understanding, therefore, that the committee cannot take a vote yet on the clause 56 until further delved into by the Attorney General as placed by the Prime Minister? I'm straight. Thank you, and therefore I will now have to or cannot consider for the committee to vote on clause 56, clause 54 and 56 have to come back for the committee's consideration on the observations that have been raised on the floor in relation to what needs to be re-looked at before we take a vote on that, on those two provisions. So clause 56 will therefore have to wait for vote to be voted on before it is considered to be a clause in the bill. In the interim, I'll go straight on to clause 57, and that's the ruling of the chair. If I come back behind, but clause 57, we go straight on to it. Any comment on clause 57 before I could vote on it? Clause 57. Thank you, Honourable
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That section to be read within what schedules, schedule 2, 3, and 4. So we take it that we'll comment on them when we become law schedules. Is that the understanding? Yeah. That's section 57 and refer to schedule 2, 3, and 4. So we'll comment on them when we come to the schedule.
Okay, so what you're suggesting, we don't take a vote on this?
No.
Consider through vote
well,
the schedules?
Just to have some clarification how we proceed with that one. When we make reference to schedule 2, 3, and 4, so the substantive comment on the schedules when come to customer schedules.
Okay, so the other option is for us to take a vote on this, but take the changes when we come to the consideration of the schedule. That's the another option. So I'll take on that. We can vote on this too, but when we come to the schedules, then you will look through more and see how we can change that to accommodate the changes that we have brought in for clause 54 and 56. Okay? All right, thank you. So I'll have to take us back to clause 54. Those in favor of clause 54 as it stands, please say aye. Thank you. Clause 54 now stands part of the bill. Clause 56. Yeah, no, what the Honourable MP is saying is we vote on this, but we make the changes when we come to the schedule. Thank you, Honourable MP, for...
Clause 57, it made reference to schedule 2, 3, and 4. So I take it the substantive discussions on the schedules by me Kasem time me Kasem schedule.
Okay, so we can now take also a vote on clause 57.
We have no problem with that. We can take a vote on clause 57, but the substantive discussions on the clauses when come time discussing schedule. Is that the understanding? Because section 57 is to be read with 3 schedules.
Okay.
Schedule 2, Schedule 3, and Schedule 4. So
Okay,
what's your...
let me get a clarification. We can take a vote on clause 57, right? Because reference is made to those schedules. So any changes will ultimately be considered when we come to consider those schedules as they relate to clause 57. Okay, I'll now take the, sorry, Honorable MP, Leader of Opposition.
Meeting and bar or right time for you lunch now. Yeah. I am. Because you must ultimately this will vote to him 54 because by age go a couple of him you tell him come wrong close. And then 57, the point raised by member for his choice all I mean straightforward. I mean if you make him changes law schedule, but have no effect in 57 no more. Because 57 merely says August and law, schedule 1, August schedule 2, or 2, 3 and 4. So if we voted on clause 57 itself, I have no really affected. That means we go to details of schedule, we will deal with those then. Any amendments can then be done in the schedules. So that could be done, but me thinking no him good him go lunch now. Make him think around him good more before him come back. Because finance him sponsor some lunch look kitchen here, so.
Sorry, Honorable Minister.
Let me go back to clause 56. Interpretation on the other side in relation to tuna industry is that if Noro hem SEZ, that Bina cannot. That's not what this one hem interpreting here. If currently Noro is not an SEZ, that means Bina can be an SEZ. And because both of them are on 2 different zones, both can be SEZs, according to the interpretation of clause 56. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Let me put it to you first. Honorable Minister, Honorable MP for Small Malay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mino perasa how for, mino follow clarification from Minister, but I think 56(1)A is empara clear lo ting below me. Anything hem establo same business, hem establo Noro and same business, hem establo you cannot make him same business more long where ya Bina ya. Where hem tell him that are or will involve business activities that are not carried out anywhere else in Solomon Islands. So if fish processing is already in Noro, you cannot declare Nara investment of same business anywhere else in Solomon Islands. I'm now reading below me, Mr. Chairman, maybe Attorney General will help me Milo there.
For Small Malaita, 56(1), Hemisayam applies to the word zone, business law there. And understanding me that for a zone, Noro can be a zone, Bina can be a zone. But me take clarification law AG. Thank you. But the word zone.
Thank you, Honorable Attorney General.
I need to.
But leave him that, suspend him that one, Mr. Chairman. Make him AGM go thing involved.
Suspend there.
Okay, so the concern, understanding now is that we will defer consideration of clause 56, and we'll come back to that when we resume. And therefore, in the interim, I will now suspend the sitting of the committee. Sorry, Honourable Lam.
Thank you, Chair. We just like for you to rule him out. The 54 imi pass imi first time, we can be by me come back left. Imi vote lehemba. So if you shall rule him out first time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we'll recede the decision that we afforded to Section 54 accordingly. Honourable Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think with regards to clause 54, it by him not make any difference if you may delete him during that or put him for. Well, by him the same in terms of interpretation. So happy to leave it as it is.
Okay, so up to the committee. Sorry, Honourable MP for East Malaita.
Thank you, Chair. Use 54 and I say for come back for today afternoon, then by AG Sawe, let me Sawe. So that's why, but we vote on it today. You move them, you vote left. So that's why I said, can you revoke that vote so that AG will give an advice this afternoon or on Monday. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, with that observation, can I ask the committee to rescind its decision it has taken on clause 54? With those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Point of order?
Yeah, point of order. I think you may suspend now for lunch, then you consult with me doing procedurally properly. I mean, what AG seems to be saying is he might not need him any amendment. And if it doesn't, then we can let it go. But let him inform us better. Time he come back, make me debate him why not him no need him amendment. But if he do him this time, we may then go to and fro him more so.
But the issue is that we've already voted on clause 54. So the issue is that now, but we rescind that and come back.
But we can rescind it when we come back. But at least you may go and get some advice for Stan or him. And you may come back, then we can systematically go through this.
Honourable Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As it is, the wording of it now is, I'm okay no more. The advice me taken from what drafters Lumi is that it will not make any difference no more if we replace during that with him for drafting style and one. So as it is, if the ruling him still stand, then we don't need to rescind it. But that's the advice when me get a call from what drafters Lumi is that as it is now, I'm still serving the same purpose. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You may go lunch first time.
56, 56. Thank you for your indulgence. I will now suspend the proceedings of the committee.
Point of order.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, AGM explained him now. So, what not that one had meaning? I mean, the 54. Yeah, how I'm drafted there now. So what not that one had meaning? Thank you, Chair.
What that means, or what you're trying to get, what the AG meant is, what not have meaning, you may leave him first time, then come back. Honourable Attorney General, please.
Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Chairman, can you repeat?
Can you repeat yourself so that Attorney General please?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah. The need for lunch now, Chair. Just for, like, if I'm say 4 or hemlo there. So actually, like what leader asked for him is that what now I mean in that one, that statement. Also. But now,
what I mean in terms of whether by you put them in, that will change.
yes,
Is that correct?
yeah. So that's 54. What the? That's 54.1. I mean, so what does that statement mean?
We made it already a decision, voted on it. I think that's what you're saying.
Yes.
But we're now saying that if for him we can change, can we come back to it? Or we rescind the decision that the committee took in relation to clause 54, then by reconsider if you may
Thank you, Chairman. I think that's what him now when I'm ask for him rescind him, yeah?
Okay.
For him come back law one, then he may.
Okay.
If him iron him out, he may pass him. No.
Okay. That's what I'm asking the opinion
Thank you,
of
Chairman.
AG when Talem comes. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, MP, for Ismail for that question. A number of things which we need for considering. One is, can the House rescind its own decision? That's one. On committee stage, within committee stage, can we do that? The other one is, with that clarification made, with the earlier decision to accept him stand. And the other question which now is being raised is that in order for me to give that explanation, would we need to rescind that earlier decision before I make that decision? I would like to take time for me give proper legal advice for that one before. There's three questions that I think crucial for you addressing first time. So on that, she might be challenged. So just to give proper advice on that. No, thank you, Mr.
Okay, so we've already taken a decision on the clause 54.
That's what.
By your recommendation. For the substitute of those words.
Yeah, but can you put law for you vote law we were actually on 57, so then you by error no more you call him 54. Because you heard him his choice all him tell him schedule 4, but because I'm speaking tongues too same time, so you think it's 54. So you say close 54 no, so you vote go law 54 no, him by error. So but AG doesn't need time. Let's just do this properly so we don't. And then lunch law kitchen too, so I'm cold. So you may got plenty of time to do this and do it right, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, from the chair, I think I'll have to suspend the proceedings of the committee, and when we resume, then we all go start all over again and try to see where now by himself correct them all the issues. Thank you. The committee is now suspended.